The Aramaic and Palestinian Targum. Exodus chapter 27. And thou shalt make the altar of woods of cedar, 5 cubits a length, 5 cubits a breadth. Square shall be the altar, and its height 3 cubits. And thou shalt make its horns upon the 4 corners. Brass shall be of it. They shall rise upward, and thou shalt cover it with brass. And thou shalt make its pots to carry away its ashes, and its shovels and its basins, and its throughballs. All its vessels thou shalt make of brass. Jerusalem. And thou shalt make its pots to carry its ashes, and its scoops and basins, and its flesh hooks, and its throughballs. All its vessels thou shalt make of brass. And thou shalt make for it a grate of network of brass, and upon the network 4 brass rings upon its 4 corners. Jerusalem, a grate. And thou shalt place it under the surroundings of the altar, beneath, that the network may be to the middle of the altar. If any fragment or fiery coal fall from the altar, it may fall upon the grate and not touch the ground, and that the priests may take it from the grate and replace it upon the altar. And thou shalt make staves of citron wood, and overlay them with brass. And thou shalt place the staves within the rings, and the staves shall be on the 2 sides of the altar, in carrying the altar, hollow, with boards filled with dust shalt thou make it. According to what showed thee in the mountain, so thou shalt make. And thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle. For the southern side shall be hangings of fine linen twined, 100 cubits the length for one side. Jerusalem, hangings. And its pillars 20, and their foundations 20, of brass. The looks of the pillars, and their rods of silver. And so for the northern side for length, the hangings 100 cubits long, and their pillars 20, and their foundations 20, of brass. The hooks of the pillars, and their rods of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the western side, the hangings shall be 50 cubits. Their columns 10, and their foundations 10. And for the breadth on the eastern side, eastward, 50 cubits, and 50th cubits the hangings of the side. Their pillars 3, and their foundations 3. And for the door of the court shall be a veil of 10 cubits of hyacinth and purple and crimson, and fine linen twined, of embroidered work. Their pillars 4, and their foundations 4. All the pillars of the court round about shall be united with silver rods, the hooks of silver, and their foundations of brass. The length of the court 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 on the west and 50 on the east, and the height 5 cubits, of fine linen twined, and their foundations of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle and all its service, and all the pins of the court around, of brass. This is the end of the reading.